Hey guys, Selwyn here from WynnStrength.com, bringing you the first day of week 8 of the Powerbuilding II template by Barbell Medicine. We're currently getting warmed up for some squats, so we're doing some heavy singles. Last week we did 425 for a single at RPE 8, so this week I'm hoping to increase that weight. So we'll see how it goes. We're currently at 315, working our way up a little slower than usual. We're putting in a bit more weights in between the rep-up sets, so we're doing probably 5 to 6 warm-up sets rather than the 4 or 5 that I normally do. So hopefully it'll help lube the joints up a little bit, and let's hit a new RPE 8 weight for this program. Okay, so now we're starting to get into the tail end of this squat session. We just hit 405 for a single, and now's when we start to get to the serious weights. Last week was 425, so probably going to do 420 to see how that feels, and then if that feels good, we'll bump it up to 435 or 440, and we'll see how that goes. So a little bit conservative. That's how I like to lean with weight selection, because you can always push out another one, but you can't go back, as it were. And it's always better to leave more in the tank than to drain yourself. Just because I'm not in a competition right now, we're just trying to build upon last week. So that's just my 2 cents on the matter. So take it for what it is. Your mileage might vary. Okay, so we just got done with that top set. Pretty stoked with today. So we hit 440 for a single at RPE 8, a 15-pound jump over last week. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think it came up pretty good. The form didn't feel like it broke down at any point in time. Felt like it came up smooth. I had some good speed there. So it just felt good all around. I'm going to leave it there. So I could probably have done 2 more sets, I think. 2 more reps if I really push myself. So I think that's a good indicator of RPE. The other one is, as I've said before, is speed of the lift. I think this went up pretty smoothly, so I'm going to rate that a good RPE 8. So next we're going to hit some volume. You might notice that I do a thumb over the bar grip with the squat. I've noticed that that has helped me with shoulder placement and hand placement, because what it does is it allows me to keep my wrists at a straight angle, as it were. So when I grip around, I'm not having to torque back around because my arms come out a fair bit. So rather than trying to bend my wrist back like this, I can just do that and everything wraps over, and it takes some pressure off of the forearm because I'm not really holding any of the weight in my hands, because I can't, because my hands are over the barbell. So all the weight is then placed onto my back and shoulders, which might work for you. I've been doing a thumbless grip for a couple of years now, and it's just changed the way I've squat. It's really helped with shoulder issues and any wrist issues especially. So if you've been having some wrist issues or shoulder issues, give it a go. It might work, it might not. For years I did the full grip, and that was fine until a couple of years back I started noticing wrist pain. So I went thumbs over and it worked out well. So many different ways to grip the barbell for a squat. There's no right way. The only right way is what works for you. Okay, so we just got done with our first volume set. Hit 405 for 5, close to an RPE 9. If you look back and watch the video, well, you can watch the video now. What you'll notice is there's a lot of form breakdown. Well, it's what I felt during the set. I start to get off balance on some of the reps there. One side comes up and there's a little bit of twisting. So I think we hit a good amount of weight to kind of push myself without going too far. It's not that big of a form breakdown. I don't think form needs to say 100% a lot of the time, especially when you get to these heavy weights. I think there was a saying where if your form's always perfect, you're never going to be able to increase the weight used. And I think there's definitely a degree of truth to that, because when you do new weights, your body's not used to it. So we have to keep building upon what we have. Okay, so we just wrapped up with squats for the day. All up, it took an hour and 10 minutes. So not the longest time. Again, stamina's kicking in. I wasn't able to do any more working sets because the RPE was hitting 9. Definitely something I need to work on. Obviously, we've talked about this in the past few videos already. It's becoming an ongoing theme. But I'm pretty impressed with the squats. We're about 15 pounds off my current 1 rep max, so I'm pretty stoked with that. We have 2 more squat sessions to go, so at the very least I will be able to match my working 1 rep max before the end of this program's over. So I think that's a good thing, especially with the extra volume that we're doing in and around that. Next up, we have some wide grip incline bench press to go. All right, so we're just getting started with some wide grip incline bench press. As like says, it's one of our accessory bench press movements for the week, so I like to just leave my heel squat shoes on and knee wraps on. I think it saves time. There's no point switching it out. It's not really affecting the lift in any way whatsoever. With the wide grip, I will throw on some wrist wraps, mainly because the weird wrist angle from being out so wide, it doesn't feel great on my wrist, so I just throw them on to save some pain in the future. So we hit 205 last week, so I'm shooting for 225 this week. Okay, so we just finished with our top set of the wide grip incline bench. We hit 225 for a set of 8, close to an RPE 9. I think that's great. We did 200 for sets of 8 at RPE 8 last week, so I think we're trailing really well for this week. We're going to do some back off sets now to get some little more volume in for this one, and then we're going to wrap it up for the bench press today. Okay, so we just wrapped up our final back off set for the wide grip bench. We hit 215 for an extra set of 8, not too much more work. Just the stamina kicking in again, but I'm happy with today's results with the bench press, so we'll carry on. Next one will be some Hatfield squats. Okay, so we just wrapped up with our Hatfield squats. I did set the hand brace barbell too low, so I couldn't change it once we got started, so that's kind of probably say like 80 to 90% full extension. But I guess there's still tension on the quads, just not full extension at the hips. Whatever the case may be, next time I know, raise it a little higher, test out the hand bar placement before I load up the other weights. So lesson learned, but I think still got a good stimulus out of it. We did increase the weight to 260 over last week's 240. We'll see how it goes next week when I'm able to set the hand bar at the right spot so that we get a full extension on the top, see if we can keep that to that upward trend increasing. So I'm starting to really enjoy the Hatfield squats. I'm starting to feel it in my lats as I support and pull myself up, as well as the quads. I'm able to sit a little bit far back with that balance, so a bit more weight is going onto the heels as I squat down. Not too sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's just what I'm experiencing so far. So that'll about wrap it up for today. All across the board, we had some really great improvements over last week, so I'm really stoked with that. All the weights show an increasing trend. Nothing too bad. All over, the session took 2 hours and 20 minutes, a bit longer than I'd hoped for, but still not that terrible of a workout length. Probably could have kept a better eye on the rest periods as the weights got heavier, but hey, we're here now, so still got a good workout in there. So check out the blog, WynnStrength.com. That's where I put up a weekly write-up of this week's training. You'll see a little bit more information there, all the weights used and the set rep schemes that I use for the program. There'll also be some new articles coming up. I've got the Stoic Powerlifter article series currently being released, where I introduce some stoicism to some powerlifting. I think it's a new concept, and I'm really excited about what I'm able to write with those two concepts there. So I'll leave all the links below. Be appreciated if you checked it out. I've also left some links for the Barbell Medicine crew. They have some great free resources, as well as a digital template like the one I'm using today. That about wraps it up for today. Getting started with week 8, only 2 more weeks to go. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. And this has been Selwyn from WynnStrength. And remember, a better life through strength.